Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm Giovanni and today we're back at K1 Circuit, this time for round 2 of Season 2. This track layout we're actually looking at chicanes, so D1, D2, and cutting off the middle section. Not my favorite layout, but this time I'm actually have some qualifying video to show as well. So that'll be good. I'll kind of have like some uncut footage that you can all look at and everything, so it should be a good one. This was maybe a little bit of a boring race, but definitely a good one for our points in the championship. So now we'll cut to qualifying with no extra audio, courtesy of the printed pieces. Now with qualifying complete, we actually start on pole position. Today was absolutely amazing. So I had a few practices before this where I almost set the track record on South Track, but Caden beat me to it because he had a slightly better kart. Darn it. But in the qualifying, for the first one, we topped the session in our holding pole position, and for the second one, we topped the session again and are able to take pole for this round. So that's one extra bonus point. Very good, especially considering that after last month, we had really poor performance with our kart dying in Group B. And so it puts us at 29th in the standings. So here we are coming to the green flag. There I was kind of getting pushed a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of people grid loading on the start and kind of pushing me to the flag. So I was kind of telling them to back off a little bit, give me a little bit of extra space, and that way I can kind of dictate a little bit more of the pace and tell people when I actually want to go. Here we are coming to the flag, staying in our tram lines, and there we go. Green, hard onto the gas pedal, and now it's just staying focused through turn 1, through turn 2, into turn 3, keeping it on the inside, making sure that there's no contest for our position. Kind of running over that curb a little bit more than we need to. Hopefully it didn't lose us too much time. Hard on the brakes into double orange. You're coming out of the corner. It feels good. It looks good. But we're not really going to know how this kart handles until we enter here into the S's. And you can see it is really a handful. Turning it into the corner, it's not wanting to turn in. There's a lot of fighting with the kart, but that might just be because our tires are a little cold. Needs to get them up to temperature a little bit. And here through our favorite corner, aka our least favorite corner on this layout, eating a little bit of the curb there, barely running onto the curb there, but it felt very good. The kart seems a little hooked up. If not, maybe the rear end is slipping out just a little bit. A quick look back to kind of see where P2 is, and it seems like that we don't have to defend, just keeping our head down, kind of getting that mini DRS, and also just trying to push ourselves as far into the lead as possible. And here, coming onto the front straight, you can see that they actually have those little orange cones there. Those are to actually take care of track limits. So now they've started enforcing track limits during these league nights. So if you actually hit any of those cones, in qualifying, it deletes your fastest lap, which can be very devastating. And then during the race, it's arguably even worse. If you hit one of them, you get a 1 position penalty, and they mark down your kart number and then apply it at the end of the session. So luckily in qualifying, we didn't hit any of those orange cones, which is very nice. And in this race, we don't hit any, which is also very good, but it definitely ruined a couple of the guys' days. During qualifying, there were a few guys that were closer to me in quali, and they could have maybe gained 1 or 2 positions if they were able to keep their top time, but because they hit a cone, it ended up just essentially nullifying that first qualifying that they had, which is super unfortunate. But I kind of like it a little bit. It makes it so that way people have to be a little bit more aware and cautious on track, and they can't just throw the kart off the track anymore, especially in the race. That is a problem that I've seen happen before. Well, it's happened to me before, but I've also seen it happen to other drivers where they just completely throw it offline and everything. But here we are on lap 3 now, still holding good in the lead, and just pulling away from people behind us. We set a time of a 63.550, which is pretty nice, very nice actually. I believe our fastest in this race is a 62.826, I believe. So very fast. It does seem like that since the temperature is a little hotter in the hotter months right now, though, the track has kind of slowed down a bit, because when we ran this track previously at the beginning of the year, we were actually almost like a full second faster. I believe that was race 4 when I was fighting for the lead with Jaden Martinez. That was, yeah. But here now, we actually are going to cut ahead a few laps into the future, into lap 8, because nothing really happens for the most part. But on lap 7, we were able to set a 63.125. So still just flying around the track. And yeah, this weekend was very comfortable. The kart felt very hooked up everywhere I went. So one, just finally the kart luck was able to come to us. But there was just a lot more confidence on the brakes, with the turning, on the steering. It was just, it just was the best weekend it possibly could have been. All around, just absolutely amazing. Just fast lap after fast lap, and especially through this chicane there, it's just, I've always struggled with it through before, but then being able to kind of crack the code through this weekend, on turning, kind of how to apply the throttle, going through the corner, minimizing the slip on the exit is really just the key there. Before, I felt like I would just try and punch on the gas way too much, and then especially roll over that was it the bump in the middle of the corner, which would just kind of destroy your lap time coming out of it. You'd lose 1 or 2 tenths with just the rear slipping out. But here we go on to lap 9, the final lap of the race, and now it is just about keeping clean and keeping consistent, making sure that we don't make any crazy mistakes. Because even though P2 we have a decent gap on P2, if we make a mistake, that is definitely the win gone. So here we could see just pushing as hard as we can through the entrance of the S's. You can see the cars kind of washing out, and then on the exit, and just planted down on the throttle. The kart just wants to try and wander off the track as how much speed we're carrying through it, into the chicane for one last time, barely clipping the curbs. Oh, except for the last one, we actually just go straight over it. But that just kind of shows how much we're really pushing through this lap. And now we just have one corner between us and victory. We don't want to throw it off too far. Remember, those cones are there, and they will destroy our race weekend if we make one wrong move. Here we go through there, just clipping the exit curb, and then head down one more time, and there we go. A win, finally. We take a win again in the normal season during the semi-pro series. Oh, that is one we could definitely celebrate. Just an absolutely clinical weekend. It really couldn't have gone better. So hopefully we can kind of carry this momentum, but let's see how this affects the championship points. So Michael Janey still is leading with Jared McCartney behind. Casey Cook actually moves up one position and takes Sergio Caballero's position. So he moves up into P3, Sergio drops down to P4, and we make a great recovery so far, moving from 29th up to 14th in the championship, so gaining a lot of positions that way. Hopefully we can kind of keep this momentum building. In round 3, hopefully we can get some more points. Another win would be great, and hopefully that can bring us into the top 10. Remember, at the end of this season, at the end of these seasons, the top 3 actually get cash payouts. So 3,000 goes to first, 2,000 to second, 1,000 to third. So hopefully we can kind of get into that payout. But at the very least, this is very good practice for the championships, because with Phoenix, we're still looking at P3 in the championship. And so that'll let us move on to state and move on to nationals from there. So that's really where the big money is and where it all counts. So hopefully keep that going. But hope you guys all enjoyed. I'll see you guys next month. And let me know if you guys have any suggestions in the comments below. And make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.